Hi friends, and welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. Today is the What Would You Make challenge. I'll let you know more about that in a few minutes. But first of all, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda and this is my precious Oliver. And if you're returning, we appreciate you so very much. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number one. So for this DIY, I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint and I'm going to paint one of these 14-inch wood rounds that I get from Hobby Lobby. I paint it front and back. Once it was dry, I took this decal that I created. Actually, this is a stencil I created with my Cricut using some stencil vinyl, and I'm just going to lay it to the kind of the side middle part of my sign. I'm just going to pull off my transfer tape here very carefully. And then after I make sure there's no air bubbles and it's all smoothed out, I take my Waverly chalk paint in the color Agave. I'm going to go over all of the wording with that beautiful color. And then after I have that all painted in, I guess I'm talking faster than I'm painting. I took my painter's tape here and I'm covering up the feet of those birds and the branches it was sticking on because I didn't want to get this paint on it. So for this bird, I'm using this is folk art. I think it's called Summer Porch. Kathy Jo sent it to me. And then I'm going to use this Pink Sky by Waverly for the other bird. And I'm not doing the beaks or the feet. Instead, I took a black Sharpie and I'm coloring in the beaks and I'm coloring in the legs and the feet. And then I'm going to take a very small paintbrush and I'm going to take Waverly chalk paint and the color Moss. And I'm going to paint in the branches there, just like you see. And then I'm going to pull off my stencil, and once I have the big pieces of this pulled off, I did dry it. I used my heat gun to dry it. And then once I'm going to get the last piece here, oh my goodness. Once I had it all dry, then I took my little Cricut tool here and I'm just going to pick out all the little small pieces that's inside of everything, including the little eyes on those little bird. I thought those birds were so cute. And then after I had that all picked off, I took these birdhouses from Dollar Tree and I'm going to paint one with that Summer Porch, one with Agave, and one with Pink Sky. When they were dry, I decided I want to put some flowers on the tops, and then I'm just going to, as you can see, I painted the top and the bottom of them white. And I went in on this one and put the pink sky in the middle and then did dots with the yellow around the pink sky. But on the other two, I did yellow dots and then I did the flowers around the yellow dots and made the colors coordinate with the colors of the birdhouse. And then I took my square ruler here and I decided at the last minute I wanted to have some shiplap lines because I just felt like it needed something else. So yeah, I should have done this beforehand, but I wasn't thinking. This was just kind of one of those things. I had a picture in my mind, but wasn't quite sure how I wanted this to go. So this was one of those that was just kind of as I change things up as I went. So I really carefully here was making those lines in between the letters and yeah, whatever. Then after that, I took my finger and I'm just going to go along and smudge those lines to give it more of a shiplap look. And I even did my fingers a little bit between those letters, just everywhere I could uh, smudge it, I did. Then I went ahead with my big mouth crocodile. Oh my goodness, I'm having a time tonight. I made some holes for hangers, and then I'm going to take my wood glue and I'm going to take hot glue and I'm going to glue those birdhouses in place just like you see where they're laid. And if I were to do this over again, or if you want to recreate this, I would suggest doing one birdhouse in the bottom middle and the other two, one on each side, because this makes it side heavy. So when I hang it, I have to hang it really carefully to get it to hang straight. And I should have known that would happen. I've done that before. Or I could have put another birdhouse or something on the other side to kind of help balance it. But that's my suggestion. So I just went ahead and glued each one of these birdhouses in place here. And after that, I decided, okay, I wanted some distressing. So I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color Mineral, and I went ahead and distressed all around the edge of my wood round. And then I went ahead and just did a little bit of that distressing along those shiplap lines. And after that, I took some of these flowers. This, I don't know what kind of flower it is. It's from Dollar Tree. And then these beautiful daisies. I got these, I think, last year from Dollar Tree, and I just love the colors. And I'm just going to kind of cut off the bottom part and then glue them right around that other flower. And that's all there was for this. I didn't do a bow. I felt like it didn't need a bow. Um, but I just love this. I think it is so adorable. Oh my goodness. I love those colors together too. You have to let me know what you think about this in the comment box below. In fact, those colors kind of remind me of an outfit I had in the 80s that I loved. It was one of my favorite outfits. Okay, today is the What Would You Make challenge that I host every month with my friend Connie with Connie's Wood Shop and DIYs. And of course, the theme for our challenge is just make things with wood. And this month's guest host is my girl, Kathy Jo, with Kathy Jo DIYs. Make sure you check out their channels as well as the playlist. I'll have links to all of them in my description box below. Okay, here's DIY number 2. So I'm going to take some of these boards, 2 of these boards from Dollar Tree, these wood plank boards, and then 2 of these wall shelves from Dollar Tree. Now these are MDF, they're not wood, but the other ones are wood. This DIY is going to be kind of long, you guys, because there was a lot of steps in this, and this is basically 3 in 1. So I took those wood shell or those MDF shells, and I'm measuring to the middle part there. And then I'm taking this ruler and I am going to make lines to go diagonally from the top of the middle. And I did that on all of my boards, and then I had my husband cut them out for me. But before that, I cut these boards in the middle part because I was able to cut 2 out of 1. So anyways, I took the parts that had the angles, and I'm measuring 2 more of these boards against where the angle starts so that we could cut them off. Then I took some of these wood shelves from Dollar Tree and I did the exact same thing. I cut them down. I made a line there so I'd know where to cut them. And then I am going to mark again where the angle starts so that I knew to cut horizontally that way, and then the other way we cut vertically. I hope that makes sense. But I was just trying to cut those shelves down to match. Then I start putting everything together. So I'm going to use wood glue and hot glue, and I'm just going to use one of these boards from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to glue it to the back of my house shape. Then I'm going to take the other board, glue it to, I didn't glue it to the back. I glued it to the side, and I'm gluing it to the other side. And then after I had those all done, I took another board. I'm going to add some hot glue and wood glue to the side boards. Then I'm going to take the other house piece there, and I'm going to glue that to those side pieces. Oh, I hope that makes sense. And then once I was done with that, I did the exact same things with the little houses. Then I took 2 more of these wood shelves from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to fill in all of the holes with my spackling because these are going to be the tops of my big birdhouse. And then I'm going to use some of these wood squares. They're kind of not really square. They're, well, anyways, I took those from Hobby Lobby. I took 4 of those, and they were a little bit too wide. So I marked, it was a couple inches. I'm marking them with my ruler. Actually, what I did was just the width of my ruler. And I'm just going to cut them off like you see. And I traced the line, and then I just scored it like 5 or 6 times. And then I was able to break it in half. These things are really pretty thin, so you really don't have to score them very much. And then I'm just going to use my wood glue and hot glue here, and I'm going to add them on the top for the top. And I'm so sorry that my camera keeps going in and out like that. I don't know why it's moving so glitchy. I've been trying to figure it out. I don't know. Sorry this is not in frame, but I painted everything with my crimson color. And then I took these wooden dowels from Walmart. If you recreate this and make it as big as mine, you'd probably need about 4 of those bags. But I'm just taking them here and I'm measuring how long I need. Now for the big birdhouse, I could only take um, one dowel per slot that I was using. I couldn't use the other half because they were too small. But for the smaller birdhouses, I was able to pretty much cut them in half and use both halves. So that's the bigger one is what really took all the time and all of these dowels. So once I had them marked, I just went through and started cutting them all. Then I'm taking my Tite Bond Quick and Thick multi-purpose glue. Because this doesn't run, I started out with this. I added it to my roof of my small, I did this on all of them, on all the roofs. Then I added the wood or the hot glue there, and then I just started adding my dowels. After that first one, I started using wood glue and hot glue. And of course, the wood glue is for the permanent hold, and the hot glue is for immediate hold. So that's why I use just a little dab for it to stick immediately while the rest of it is setting in. Once all of that was done, I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color Mineral and painted all of the roofs with that. Then I went ahead with the sponge from Dollar Tree. I cut it up and I'm just putting some, I'm sponging on some of the black. Then I'm sponging on some of the Elephant by Waverly. And then I sponged on some more of the Mineral. And then I added a little bit more black and a little bit more Elephant until I had it looking the way I liked it and the way it made it look galvanized. Now, if you want to recreate this, you actually wouldn't have to do that part. You could even just add paper or cardboard or whatever to the top. There's all kinds of things you could add as the roof. Now I'm taking these, what are these? These are those bamboo sticks from Hobby or Amazon. I have them in my Amazon store. I'm cutting them down. As you can see, I'm already made some for the smaller house. I did the bigger house, and I'm just kind of show you. Once I knew the sizes, I just took my miter shears there, and I'm cutting at a 45-degree angle, and I'm just cutting them pieces so that I can make the door and the window, and we're just making the barn door. Once I had all my pieces cut out, I went over them with my antique wax. I just took a napkin, brushed them on, wiped off the excess, and then I'm taking my Tite Bond glue, the Quick and Thick, and I'm just gluing all of those pieces in place. I figured this stuff sets pretty quickly, and that's why it's called Quick and Thick. And it worked out great. I didn't have to use hot glue, and I didn't have to worry about them falling because I knew they'd be laying on their side for, a few minutes at least. So I'm just going to get all of this on there, and I did the bottom part too. Once I got the bottom part done, oh my goodness, there was something I was going to tell you guys about this. Now I can't remember what it was. I took another bigger piece and I'm just doing the middle part. And so I cut the end at an angle, and then I'm just kind of marking where I needed a cut. And then I cut it at another angle until I got it to fit into the right, or fit in because it was the right size. And then I took another piece, cut the top part at an angle, the bottom part straight, and then I did the other piece there too. Covered them with my antique wax and then glued them in place. Then I took this little ring that I had, and I'm just using it to make a little circle with my black Sharpie, and then I'm going to use my black paint and paint in the little hole to make this look like a birdhouse. I know what I was going to tell you. I got this inspiration from Hobby Lobby. I was there the other day, and they have a set of birdhouses like this, but theirs was gray and green, but it was so cute. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to make that. And it's normally like $42. Of course, it's 40% off. I probably spent more than the $22 that it ended up being because of all those wood dowels. But still, you know what? I made it my own. I love it. I love the way this came out, and I'm not sure where I'm going to put it, but I love it. So after I had the barn all done, I took 2 more of those boards. I had kind of cut them down to fit. I glued them together with wood glue and hot glue, painted them with Waverly chalk paint in the color Mineral, and then I'm using wood glue and hot glue on the bottom of my houses, and I'm gluing them onto that base. After that, I took some of these little mini birds that I got from Amazon, and I'm just going to glue them on the little pegs. I think I showed you guys. I just took some little dowels, cut them down, painted them black, and glued them in place with hot glue, and there they are. Oh my gosh, I just love this. This is so dang cute. I wish I had a little bit bigger bird. I would have stuck it on the top of one of those. Or you know what would have been really cute is a weather vane. Oh, I got to figure out how to make a weather vane. That would be adorable. You have to let me know what you think about that as well. I always want to thank my customers, my viewers. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you so much. And if you're new here and enjoyed today's video, I invite you to hit that red subscribe button, become part of our YouTube family. And then if you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate you guys giving me that thumbs up, commenting, watching all those ads, all that fun stuff. And then if you'd like to follow me on social media, you can find the links to my accounts in the description box below. Okay, here's DIY number 3. Can you tell we have a little theme going on here? I'm going to take 2 of those wood planks from Dollar Tree. I'm going to put them together using some giant craft sticks with wood glue and hot glue. And then I'm going to paint the front and the back with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Mineral. If you didn't notice, I did cover some of those holes with some spackling as well. Then I took 2 of these metal birdhouses, and I'm trying to figure out, I didn't want those little pegs, and this one was really loose. And so I just kept wiggling it and wiggling it and wiggling it until I felt it coming apart. I was able to use my little, those wire cutters a little bit to cut the metal to, because it was kind of stuck on there, but I was able to wiggle it off. But this next one, there was no way it was coming off. So I took it out to the garage and used my husband's Dremel on it. Then I gave it like 2 coats of Waverly chalk paint in the color white. Then I took these birds. I think I got these from Michael's last year or the year before, maybe Dollar or maybe Walmart, but I painted them with my agave, my pink sky, and the summer porch. And then once my houses were dry, I took my pink sky and went over one of the flowers. I went over the other flowers on the other house with the agave and the yellow, and then went over the middle with the pink sky. And then I'm using Waverly chalk paint in the color Fern to go over the leaves in the vine there. And then on the one that only had the one flower, I took all of those colors and just made some little polka dots. And then I did paint the roof of the bigger one with the agave, and then I painted the smaller house with the pink sky. Once I had those all painted and dried, I took my I took some little craft sticks and cut them down, and I'm putting not E6000, Fix All glue and hot glue. I'm gluing them to the back of the houses because of the way the edge stood out. I didn't think it would give it enough glue to hold it in place, so I'm gluing the sticks on the back so that you could glue those onto the sign. I hope that makes sense. Then I took my wood glue and hot glue and glued my birds on, and I had 2 facing the right and 1 facing the left. I did that on purpose because I thought it would be cute. Then I decided to take my Cricut and create a decal that says Home Tweet Home. I thought that was so funny and sweet, and I added that on my sign as well. I took some of this yellow ribbon from Dollar Tree, and because I just felt like something needed to be on the bottom, it needed a little something more, so I'm just going to glue it around I'm going to put it around the front of the bottom part of my sign and then glue it to the back. I used some of that same ribbon to make a hanger, so I just strung it through those holes, and then I tied a knot on the end, and then I took some more of that ribbon and went around the top part, covering where the ribbon goes through the hanger holes. And then I just glued that to the back as well. And then I took a little more of that ribbon, made a little bow by doing the awareness ribbon, scrunching it up in the middle, taking some twine, and I tie it around that bow. And then I will trim off the twine and cut the ends at a dovetail and glued it in place, and there it is. I think this is just so adorable and sweet. Oh, you'll have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, so it is a time for a celebration of your recreation. And we have these pretty pieces that Lynette made. She's been busy with those calendar pieces. I love them. And then Patricia, she has been with me from the very beginning. She made this really cute Easter sign. And then Debbie made these really pretty signs and riser. And I appreciate you guys sharing those with me. And if you have a creation or recreation that you would like me to showcase, you can send pictures to that email address there, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, here's DIY number 4. So for this DIY, I took this wood house and I painted it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color white. Once it was dry, I covered the front with some Mod Podge, and I am going to just wipe it all in, and then I set it aside to dry. While it was drying, I took my napkin here and I'm just going to cut all around. I'm going to fussy cut all around the birdhouses. Now, if you want to use the paintbrush and water method, you could do that too, but I just feel like I have more control over using my scissors, because sometimes with the paintbrush and water, I get too close and it gets part of my image and then my image rips. And so, yeah, I like doing it this way. Once my Mod Podge was dry, I laid my napkin down on it, put my parchment paper down, and went over it with my heat press and carefully removed that parchment paper because it likes to stick sometimes to the Mod Podge. As you can see, I trimmed off the excess of that napkin and then went over it again with Mod Podge and let it dry. Then I took some more craft sticks, the bigger ones, cut them down and went over them with antique wax. And then I am going to sand off the extra pieces that I couldn't cut off. And then I'm going to, I took a little lid and I'm going to trace around it because I'm going to make it look like a birdhouse. So I needed the little hole there. Then I painted that with my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, which is black. And once that was dry, I took my wood glue and hot glue here and put it on the top part of my house and added those little wood pieces there to make it look a little more like a house. And then that's all there was. It's super easy, super simple. I figured after that, those barn birdhouses were so long and was so much, I better do an easy one for you guys. So there it goes. Okay, the final reveal is coming right up. I hope you let me know which one was your favorite one today, and if you'll be recreating any, I'd love to know. And make sure, again, you check out Connie's channel, and make sure you check out Kathy Joe's channels. And if you haven't subscribed to them yet, make sure you do that before you go. Subscribe to me yet if you haven't as well. And with all that being said, make sure you check out the playlist too. I will be back again on Thursday with another video, one more video before the first of the month. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. Where's time going? Anyways, with all that being said, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful week and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.